In today's video, I'm going to take charge of Sunderland for 10 seasons to try and make them the most dominant team in Europe. I mean, they haven't even played Premier League football since 2018, so it's about time someone did. However, there's going to be a couple of challenges to complete along the way, like winning 2 Premier Leagues, winning 3 Champions Leagues, winning 5 FA and Carabao Cups combined, and having an average starting team rating of 88. But with the transfer wheel and takeover wheel making its return, this is not going to be an easy task to accomplish. But to be fair, ladies and gents, this is the starting team we've loaded into with Sunderland in Season 1, and it is absolutely stacked with potential. I mean, you've got Daniel, Hume, Patterson, Ballard, and also Jack Clark, who are all brilliant talents. Then there's also brother of Jude Bellingham, Joe Bellingham, who, if I'm not mistaken, is a bit hit and miss in real life, but don't worry, under my management, I'm going to get the best out of them. Another thing I love about the Black Cats, guys, just look at the average age of all of our best players, man. Considering this is a 10-season takeover, we're in seriously good hands. And to top it off, we've got 9 mil to spend in Season 1 in charge of Sunderland, but we all know by now it's not going to be that simple. Because whilst we're not a Premier League side, we've got to spin the transfer wheel, and that is going to dictate how many signings we're allowed every year. But once we get promoted to the Premier League, the takeover wheel is going to make its return to either make my life way easier or a living hell. But granted there's challenges to complete and potential obstacles gaining our way of achieving them, this starting team is stacked with talent, it's stacked with potential, and honestly guys, I feel like with this team we can achieve every single one of them. But not with a 5 at the back formation, guys. I'm going for the 4-3-3 attacking variation, quite frankly, because it suits this team down to the T. And we're using the gegenpressing tactical vision as well, ladies and gents. We're going to make sure these boys are working hard on the pitch. And after quickly meddling with the team, guys, this is our strongest starting 11 going into Season 1. But there are still a couple of players on loan to us and a couple of players on loan from us. And with this being the new season, before we start anything else, we've got to sort this out. But now that that's all taken care of and the tactics are all sorted too, we've got this 9 mil in our budget, but nowhere to put it until we spin that transfer wheel. So here we go, guys. Spin number 1 of the takeover wheel, and we're landing on, I think that's 2. Yep, 2 transfers. That's actually not that bad, you know. I mean, we can improve Sunderland a lot with 9 million in 2 transfers. However, 3 transfers with 9 million, probably not so much. And truth be told, guys, when you look at the starting 11, there are 2 glaring weaknesses that we do need to sort out. For example, we haven't really got many amazing strikers. I mean, our highest rated one is Ukrainian international Rosin, who's only 67 overall. And I also think replacing Luke O'Neill as our centre-back probably is a great option, especially if we are looking to get promoted in Season 1, because honestly, I reckon with the team we've got, that is a possibility. But only if we spend this money correctly, and I feel like bringing a centre-back and striker in are definitely the right ways to spend this money in Season 1. And believe me, guys, I didn't muck around with the first transfers. I've just spent 4.2 million on Burnley centre-back Amin Al-Dakhel. I mean, just look at him, for God's sake. He's only 21, he's 72 rated already, and 6'2". This guy's an absolute beast. As for our second signing, I'm going for Elijah Adebayo from Luton Town. I mean, he's 25, he's 73 overall, he knows where the back of that net is, and quite frankly, that's exactly what we need up top. But ladies and gents, we bankrupted ourselves signing Adebayo's. We spent 4 mil on the dot on it. I mean, we've literally got £345 to our name now. I was able to thankfully sort everybody's contracts out, but the coaching system is going to take a backseat this season, unfortunately. However, our transfer window isn't quite finished yet. As you can see, I've got all 5 of these players up for a loan move. And they're either there because I just want them to get game time elsewhere, or I feel like they'll get game time over someone who I want to get game time in the starting 11, and I really can't have that. But one other thing I've been doing behind the scenes is converting players to different positions. For example, Abdullah Bar is going from a right mid to a right winger. Let's see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? I have also done this with Jack Clark. He's hoping he doesn't let me down. Yes, there we go. 76 overall. Lovely stuff. But now that that's all taken care of, guys, this is how we are looking going into Season 1 with the Black Cats. And honestly, guys, promotion is certainly a possibility. I mean, granted, there's no rush. We're in charge of Sunderland for 10 years, but the faster we get to the Premier League, the faster we're able to try and complete all those challenges set to us at the start of this takeover. But if we fail to get promoted promotion, one other thing I want to see is a lot of improvement from everybody in this starting team. Remember how young this team actually is, guys. It is stacked with potential. I'm especially looking at players like Anthony Patterson, Ballard, and also Jack Clark. Those three in particular can have an incredible year when it comes to development. Season 2 and 3, we're going to be looking amazing. But we're at the end of the season, and never mind the development. Look at the stats, man. Clark, Adebayo, and Barr have torn it up in the championship. As for improvement, well, look for yourselves, guys. Jack Clark's 81 overall, Ballard 77, Hume 76, Dackhill 76. We are looking incredible. Now, the stats are looking good and the development's looking good. The question is, how have we actually done in the championship? We've done very well in the championship, as it turns out. We're in the playoffs alongside Hull, Watford, and Burnley. Could you actually imagine if we get promoted in Season 1? That would literally be the dream start to this takeover. But apparently Watford didn't get that memo, as they have absolutely annihilated us in the semis 6-2 on aggregate. Yeah, it's safe to say we're not ready for the Premier League just yet if that's happening to us against Watford. But we've had an insane FA Cup run. The quarters we made it to before getting knocked out by Liverpool. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. But we got knocked out in round 2 of the Carabao Cup by bloody Bradford City. Go figure. But looking at the bigger picture, guys, this is a phenomenal start to the takeover. This team, I mean, look at it for goodness sake. We've got to be one of the favourites to get promoted automatically next year, if not go up as champions. Especially with just how good and just how young this team actually is, man. I'm telling you now, we're in for a very successful 10 years with Sunderland. But before we go any further, if you're enjoying this 10-season takeover with Sunderland so far, leave this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. But as we arrive into Season 2, we're going to spin this wheel, and it's not looking good. One transfer for our second year in charge of Sunderland. Brilliant. But look at how much money we got in Season 2, man. 16 million. What in God's name are we doing with that kind of money as a championship side? The worst thing is we can only use that 16 mil on one place. So the question is, where in God's carnation do we actually stick that money? Because quite frankly, I don't know where to put it. I mean, Joe Bellingham for now isn't going anywhere. He grew really well last year, and I kind of want to keep him in the team for as long as possible. Then there's Sirkin, our left back, who is a weak link in the starting 11, but his development plan says he's got a lot more in the tank left to give. And there's frankly no way in hell I'm getting rid of Barr yet. So to be honest, guys, I'm in a bit of a pickle on where to put this money. I seriously don't know what to do with it. Maybe, though, we replace Elijah Adebayo with somebody a bit younger and a lot better than him. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know we only bought him last year, but just hear me out. His development plan says it'll only take him 1 week to become a better player, but usually at the start of the new campaign, when this is the case with certain players, that's all they grow in that season. So I reckon we do spend the money on a new striker. And if the striker's on the expensive side, we can just throw Adebayo into the mix because he's worth 4.5 million himself. But there's no need because I've found our striker, guys. Yusuf Shimiti from Everton. He's only 20, 74 overall, and the max he'll cost us is 12 million. Now, I realise this isn't the most realistic scenario in the world, ladies and gents, but with this guy, we're definitely going to be playing Premier League football, and who knows, we may actually be better than Everton in a season or two anyway. And it looks like Yusuf Shimiti agreed with me as for 12 million on the dot, he's just signed a 5-year deal with us. And guys, I'll be real with you lot, if this team somehow does not get promotion this year, I'm going to eat my own friggin' hats, guys, because this team does not belong in the championship anymore. And to be honest, guys, I've been through who we're playing against in the championship this year, and there is realistically nobody that good that can stand in our way, so I'm definitely expecting us to be playing Premier League football in Season 3. But if we are to play Premier League football next year, we've got to do it via the playoffs, as we're in them alongside Bournemouth, Sheffield United and Ipswich. Truth be told, I'm disappointed we didn't get automatic promotion, but I'll settle for winning the playoffs if we are able to. But no, man, this is a joke, you know. Sheffield United beat us in the semis. What in God's carnation is going on with Sunderland? Why can't we get promoted? How is this team not in the freaking Premier League yet, man? Every single one of these players I'm looking at right now is Premier League standard. I mean, we did have a half-decent FA Cup run, making it to round 4. But the bottle jobs won the Carabao Cup, and that's all I need to know about this competition. But on a serious note, guys, look at the improvements in pretty much every single player this season, man. How have we not been promoted? Especially with these stats, man. Jack Clark with 36 goal contributions and 25 goal contributions for Yusuf Shimiti. That's phenomenal, by the way. Fair play. The only thing I can think of is just that these guys are legitimate choke artists. they are worse than the ball jobs for bottling things. To be honest, I think next season to get promotion, we've got to be ruthless in what we do, man. I've catered too much towards certain players in this team, giving them special treatment, and ultimately it's cost the entire team. I mean, the transfer wheel only giving us one transfer this year definitely didn't help, but next season, if we do get more than one, believe me when I say we're going to go from 4th in the championship to 1st. But to be fair, it really does depend on what the wheel decides to give us. Oh my god, you're kidding me. One transfer again. Are you taking the mick right now? The worst thing is as well, we've got 19 million to spend. Imagine if we'd have had 2 or 3 transfers we were allowed to make. I mean, we could have legitimately won the league without question. But now we've got to figure out where in this team we can put that 19 million and it's actually being fair on the team and on the individual in question. Now, obviously last year I looked at Bellingham and Sirkin, but quite frankly, guys, I feel like they can stay put. They've definitely earned their spot in this team. But one individual who's been lacking, in my opinion, is my guy Adil, whose second name I'm not even going to try and pronounce. But last year and the year before, he hasn't really been doing all that well when it comes to contributing to goals and assists. So I feel like getting a better attacking midfielder might be the answer. I mean, let's be honest, if we can't find one with 19 million who's better than him anyway, I don't deserve to be the manager of the Black Cats. And I think I found one, guys. Nico Malamed from Monza. I mean, he's 24, he's 79 overall. I mean, granted, he is on the expensive side, but we can just put a deal into this deal to make it work. So I'm offering 16 mil alongside Adil, who's worth 7.5 million, guys. This is a pretty decent offer for someone like Malamed. Are they going to accept it, though, is the question. They only want 400k more. Say no less, man. Done deal. And there he is, ladies and gents, wearing the Sunderland home kit. I'm hoping that Nico Malamed is the answer to our problems. I mean, he defo looks like it. Look at his stats. 86 pace, 76 shooting, 79 passing, and 81 dribbling. This guy's a beast. And he fits into this starting 11 like a glove, ladies and gents. I'm just hoping this is our last season in the championship because, quite frankly, this entire squad is ready for the Prem now. And it's about damn time as well. We are finally promoted out of the championship and into the top flight of English football. That took way too long, and I've just realised that's our first trophy one with Sunderland, but it doesn't count for anything because it's not a Premier League, a Champions League or Carabao Cup or FA Cup. Well, speaking of the FA Cup, we once again made it to round 5 before Man City knocked us out. And we had a decent showing in the Carabao Cup this time too. And as you can see for the team itself, man, it is absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, guys, I reckon we aren't far away from getting an average rating of 88 in this starting 11. I mean, if all the players can keep improving at the rate they are, we'll be there in about 2 seasons flat. And as you can see from the stats, it just gets more impressive, especially with Jack Clark and bloody Schmidt, man. Them pair were on smoke this season. But guys, it's taken us 3 long years, 1 more year than it should have in my opinion, but we're finally going to be playing Premier League football in season 4. But that's not the only thing that's going to be different, because from now on, we're going to be spinning the takeover wheel, and we all know how unpredictable this wheel can actually be, especially with us trying to hit all these objectives. Remember, we've only got 7 years left in charge now. But this team is far superior than your average newly promoted side, so I don't feel like our first season in the Prem is going to be a case of whether we're going to survive. It's just a case of how well we're going to thrive. And here we are, guys, season number 4 with the Black Cats, and we are officially a Premier League side once again. And with promotion comes that promotion money, 61 million in total. To be fair, I did expect a bit more, but I'll definitely take 61 mil. And to be honest, I've got a couple of ideas on what we could spend that money on to improve this team, but we can't spend a damn penny of it before we spin that takeover wheel, remember. So without further ado, let's see what it's got in store for us. Okay, oh, this looks like a decent one. Free pass, do what you want, gladly. Thank you very much, wheel. I can't lie, guys, after the last 3s have been dictated to how many signings I'm allowed to make by wheel, right now it feels so good to know I can do what I want. And what I want to do is replace Anthony Patterson in goal. I know that this isn't nice because he's been with us since the start and he's a decent player, but I'm not giving special treatment to players anymore because that cost us back in season 2. I also want to replace Sirkin because he's actually our weakest player in the starting 11, and once we do that, our backline and goalkeeper's completely sorted for the Prem. So starting with the left back, I'm going for Valentin Barco from Brighton. I know he's not much better than Sirkin, but he's 21, he's showing great potential, and I know firsthand just how good he can become. And following him is Bayer Leverkusen's keeper Alex Ramiro, who is 31 years old granted, but he's 86 overall, and truth be told, with him in between the sticks, there's a small chance we could win a trophy or two this year. I really hope so anyway, because signing both of these players almost bankrupted us, as for the combined total of 57 million, we signed both of them on 4-year deals. And I don't know what's quite changed since signing him, but he's gone from showing great potential to being an exciting prospect, and honestly, that's a welcome addition. And let's call a spade, guys. This team is quite frankly phenomenal, especially when you consider we're a newly promoted side as well. And truth be told, even with that wheel being against us half the time, I don't think it's going to be a challenge to complete all of these objectives. But we've got to take this one step at a time, and the first step is getting this team European football. But it looks like I've either overestimated how good we are or underestimated how difficult the Premier League is, because we are 14th in it this season. I legit thought we were going to get a top 6 finish at the very least, man. That humble pie does not taste good. We've got a lot of work to do. But look at this, we made it to round 5 of the FA Cup despite us having a stinker in the Prem. But it's the same story in the Carabao Cup. You know what, I'm calling it now. It's going to be the same story where Portsmouth will hit the Prem, Champions League and overall objective. It's just the FA and Carabao Cup we're not going to be able to do. Which, when you look at this team, man, it makes you wonder how we've done so poorly in the Premier League, because right now this team is easily a top 10 team at the very least. But looking at these objectives, it does make a bit more sense, as Jack Clark and Schmidt were the only players actually scoring decent goals for us. I'd say this year's been a wake-up call. It's not going to be as easy as we thought in the Premier League, despite our team being as good as it is. And with that takeover wheel being around the corner waiting for us every year, you got to question how long is it going to take for us to actually get top 4 football. Well, I guess we're going to find out, guys, as we're once again spinning the wheel. What is switch up? Okay, what's this? Spin the formation wheel, and whatever it lands on, you must use for the remainder of the video, and you can't make any signings. Oh my days. You know what, that doesn't sound bad, but if we land on a bad formation, that's us finished. Well, here we go, guys, the moment of truth. What formation are we going to be rocking with? A 5-3-2 holding variation. We're officially screwed. This is the formation we've got to use. Guys, we've legitimately been shafted. There's no wingers in this formation, so Jack Clark and Bar are out the question. We need a third centre-back. We need a CDM. I mean, what on earth are we going to do? We can't even make any signings. Now, I've really meddled around with the team, and somehow it doesn't actually look all that bad. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong. It was much better in the previous formation, but it's not bad. But what is bad, there's no Malamed in the team because he can't fit into it. There's no Bar in the team because he's a winger, and there's no Jack Clark, who I really hoped I'd be able to keep till the end, but apparently the wheel had other ideas. And we'd have had 50 million to try and sort this situation out, but we're not even allowed to do that. There is a consolation though. Once this season's done and dusted, Jack Clark, we can sell him for quite a big amount of money. I mean, he's worth 131.5 million. We can use that money to actually improve this team in this formation. But unfortunately now we've done all we can with this team, ladies and gents. We switched the formation to what it landed on the formation wheel, and we've tried our best to make it work. But something tells me it's just not going to work, ladies and gents. I feel like we are in for a very rough season 2 in the Prem. Well, I'll be damned, guys. We actually did better than we did last season. We are top 10 in season 2 in the Prem. I did not see that one coming in the slightest. How do we switch to a formation which doesn't have our best player in it, and we do better without him? Now it's beginning to make sense. We haven't done as well in the FA Cup. We only this time made it to round 4. But we somehow made it to the quarters in the Carabao Cup. Oh, I give up trying to understand this game, man. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm not saying we've got a bad team, because we're far from a bad team, but realistically, guys, this formation should hold us back so much. I mean, looking at the stats, they're not amazing, but overall, guys, you can't actually knock him. Bio, especially getting 27 goal contributions, fair play to him. But the bad news is we're officially halfway through this takeover, and we haven't completed a single objective set to us at the start of this takeover. So from next season onwards, despite whatever that wheel lands on, we've got to start ticking off these objectives left, right, and centre. Otherwise, we may not actually complete a single one by the end of this video. But to be honest, a good start to Season 6 would have us landing on a good option. Wheels choice. Okay, what's this? Spin the Wonder Kid wheel, and whoever it lands on, you can sign them, but make that your only signing. That would be good if we hadn't have had what we had last year on the wheel. But in fairness, guys, if this lands on someone pretty decent, this could be a game changer for us. Benjamin Sesko! Oh my god, okay, we've got a freaking world-class striker now. He's 25 years old, 87 overall. I couldn't care less what formation we're rocking with. Him and Schmidt up top is going to be a nightmare for defenders. And after spending £83.6 million on him, he now plays for us. Now, granted, we could have done with a centre mid over Ekwa or a better centre back than Triantis, but to be fair, guys, Sesko isn't a bad alternative, is he? However, I do feel like without a completely solid back five, we're not going to get European football, so that has to be our objective next year, no matter what that wheel throws at us. But for now, we've got to settle with it. But I can't get over this, guys. I was completely wrong. We are 5th in the Premier League. We've officially got European football for Season 7. How we've done that with a gaping weakness in our backline is beyond me, but I don't care. It's freaking happened. But what still hasn't happened is us winning the FA Cup, as we've been knocked out in round 5. And we've also made the quarters of the Carabao Cup. You know what? I take it back. I actually think we're going to complete this objective. I mean, if this team can get top 5 football finishing the quarters in round 5 of the FA and Carabao Cup, who knows what it can do when it's to its full strength. I mean, granted, Schmidt is the only player who's actually properly scoring us goals, but Adebayo, Neil, and Sesko, and Ekwa are all getting their fair share. But I am officially buzzing, man. Europa League football for Season 7. All we need is that takeover wheel to be on our side, and Season 7 will be our most successful year yet with the Black Cats. But it's like I've just said, it has to be on our side. So let's see what it's landing on this time. +3. Oh, please tell me this is good. All your starting 11 players get a +3 in their rating. Yes, at freaking last we get something properly good. And just look at the team now, man. Thanks to that upgrade, everybody in this starting 11 is near enough world class now. And on top of that, it didn't say anything about not spending any money, so we can actually spend this 161 million in total. But that's not all we're gonna do. It is finally time to cash in on Malamed, Bar, and of course Jack Clark. They don't suit our team, they don't fit into the team, so it's better off getting the money for them and then bringing them players that actually do. And just like that, guys, we very quickly solved Abdullah Bar. And if I'm not mistaken, that is indeed Jack Clark walking out the building now as well. And finally, Malamed has been sold as well, which means that all 3 players that I wanted to sell have left the club now. And for very good prices too. Malamed for 44.4 mil, 193.7 mil for Clark, and 34.4 mil for Bar, which gives us 442 million to spend. I do not care. I am going for it this year with this amount of money. And truth be told, guys, no position is really safe. If I see a player high rated and I want them in the team, you better believe I'm going to sign them, because let's be honest, nothing's stopping me now. And I got right to work on spending that money, as I've just spent a whopping 94.2 million on centre-back William Saliba. We desperately needed a better centre-back, and he fits the bill. He's 28, 89 overall. I feel like he's going to take Sunderland to that next level. I've also just brought in Spanish centre midfielder Gabri Viega for 85.8 million. He's an absolutely phenomenal centre midfielder, and he's exactly what we need in the centre of the park. And just look at the team now, man. I'm not seeing a single weakness in that starting 11. I feel like the rest of this money we should just spend on squad depth. I mean, we could do with another centre midfielder, maybe another centre-back, because we are in a 5-back formation, and I might go for a stronger backup second-choice keeper whilst we've got the money. And I thought, why not go for one of the world's best whilst I'm at it? So I spent 60.9 million on Juanluigi Donnarumma. And I think this just speaks volumes to just how good our team actually is when Juanluigi Donnarumma is our second-choice goalie. But we also need a backup centre-back, so I'm signing Zeno Debas from the Bottle Jobs, mid-20s, 83 overall. He's a decent player. And following him is Cassidy from Chelsea, mid-20s himself, and a half-decent looking centre midfielder. And that wraps up our first transfer in ages, as we've just spent 66 million on both of these players. And I'm just putting this out there, after this transfer window, if we come away empty-handed at the end of Season 7, I will officially give up, because I will legitimately not know what to do from there to win trophies. I give up, man. Man City are just too damn freaking good. What do we have have to do to beat them to win the Premier League, man, seriously. I mean, we are in the Champions League from next year, so there is that, but time is running out to complete the Premier League objective. Oh, I can't believe this. Newcastle beat us to win the FA Cup, man. You can't bloody write that, can you? Sunderland fans, I'm so sorry. This is actually a joke. Man City have beaten us to win the Carabao Cup. We could have won the FA and Carabao Cup, but we bottled it both bloody times. But as you guys know, we did qualify for the Europa League last year, and we've absolutely decimated the group we were put in. I swear to God, if we win this trophy where it doesn't matter as opposed to the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, I'm not going to be happy. Of course we freaking won it. We beat Salzburg 3-2 in the Europa League final. It's just a shame that this doesn't count for bloody anything, does it? And just look at these stats, man. 6 players in total scored above 10 goals this year. Do you know how mad that is? I think we've just got to bide our time with this Sunderland team and have faith that they can get the job done, because quite frankly this year we've been unlucky on 3 separate occasions. But the good news at the very least, as you can see from this starting 11, majority of the players above 88 overall now, so I'm guessing that the average rating is higher than 88, which means that objective is now complete. And that means we've now got 3 years to win 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues and 5 Carabao Cups or FA Cups combined. So whilst I've got to have faith that the boys can get it done, these guys are going to get their skates on, get their backsides into gear and actually get it done. Otherwise, we fail this takeover. But we've, of course, got to give the takeover wheel its say in this matter. Caught cheating. Oh, please tell me this is what I think it is. You've broken FFP rules. Transfer ban this year. Oh, okay. You know what? Fair play. I'll take that. I mean, I don't think we need a transfer window this year. We did everything we wanted to do last year. And let's be honest, as you can see from the team, majority of them are on international duty. And the ones that aren't are both 90 overall and 92 overall themselves. It is a shame, though, because we'd have had 234 million to spend. I guess the only thing we can spend this money on is improving the coaching system and renewing contracts. But aside from that, guys, the only thing that we can do is simulate to the end of the season and hope that we've actually won the Champions League or the Premier League, or for that matter, both. And thank God for that, guys. We are the best team in England. We are finally the Premier League champions by goal difference of all outs. Look how tight it was at the top 3. But truth be told, I don't care. We just need one more Premier League and that's that objective ticked off. And it just gets better. We finally won the FA Cup. We just need 4 more of these and we're done with that objective now too. Unfortunately, it's not going to be 3 more as Aston Villa knock us out of the Carabao Cup in round 3. But the dream is still alive to complete this objective. And not that it counts for anything, but we didn't win the Super Cup either. As for the Champions League, we were in Group B alongside Inter, LASK and Slavia Praha, and as you can see, we quite comfortably made it through to the knockouts. Well, that's as far as we made it, as PSG knock us out 3-2 on aggregate. Bloody brilliant. Not gonna lie, that's wound me up a bit. How have PSG beaten us when our team has literally only got 2 players in this team under 90 overall? That doesn't make sense to me. And these stats, honestly, aren't that bad at all, considering, by the way, we're in a very defensive formation. We're doing really well when it comes to scoring goals. It's taken us 8 years, but we're finally getting a bit of momentum with this team. We've won the Prem this year, and we've also won the FA Cup. But with only 2 years left of this takeover, are we going to be able to complete every single objective? If I'm being honest, I don't really like our odds of doing so, but what is this? Battle of the Geordies. Sim every game with Newcastle United. Each time they win, they get your highest rated player, but if you win, you get a player of your choice for free. Okay, I'm assuming this means if we beat Newcastle, I get a player of theirs of my choice for free. I don't think the wheel quite understands what being direct is, because it didn't say anything about not spending any money, which is good news for us because we've got just over 360 million to spend. And for the most part, guys, I'm happy to leave the starting team as it is. Obviously, if I see anybody better than Viega or Aldakil, I'll probably go for them, but for the most part, I'll be focusing on depth. I mean, for goodness sake, we've got a 69 rated second choice striker. As much as I'm very fond of that number, ladies and gents, I'm not going to keep this guy around. So I got straight to work in replacing him by spending 110 million on regen striker Liam Cohen. And he's just a fantastic player, 22, 86 overall, a superb second choice striker. But I've also noticed upon further inspection that we haven't got any decent backup fullbacks, so I'm going to go for Arsenal Satchit Bowie, who's 30 years old and a very good fullback. I've also found Patrick Dorgu from Hoffenheim. He's only in his mid-20s and he's 83 overall. I feel like both of these pair will definitely do a job from the bench. And that wraps up Season 9's transfer window after spending 78 million on both of these players. And just look at that bench now, ladies and gents. Newcastle United, good luck because you are not beating Sunderland. I mean, I hope so anyway, because Valentin Barco and Benjamin Sesko are the players up for grabs for Newcastle United. I mean, I feel like we're far stronger than Newcastle, but you never know. Anything can happen. But it is officially time to find out as we're playing against them away from home in the Prem. But I'm looking at that team, and ladies and gents, it will be a minor miracle if they actually even get a draw against us. Having said that, guys, I've already said anything can happen. So let's see what happens in game number 1. Thank God for that. We not only escaped losing one of our best players, we actually get a player of their choice now. I mean, the likelihood that they're going to have a player I want is very slim, but you never know, do you? But look who they do have, guys. Fabio Moretti, he's 28, 88 overall. He's much better than Cassidy, so I feel like I know exactly who I'm taking off Newcastle, and it is indeed Fabio Moretti. And there he is in the Sunderland home kit, ladies and gents. So far, the Wheels attempt to shaft me's completely backfired, hasn't it? Having said that, there is a second game to play, so Newcastle do have an opportunity here to take one of our best players, and they don't take it. It's a 1-1 draw. The Wheel didn't say anything about what happened if it was a draw, so I'm going to assume that neither team gets a player, which means that the Wheel's job to try and shaft me has completely failed. We've kept all of our players and actually taken one of Newcastle's players in the process. So I guess now the only thing to do is simulate to the end of the season in the hopes that we've actually taken one step closer to completing all the objectives set for us. And that's exactly what we've done, guys. We've won our second Premier League title, which means that that objective is officially complete. But can we complete the Champions League objective and the FA and Carabao Cup objective is the question. Well, we have won the FA Community Shield, beating Leicester to do it, but that doesn't count for the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, unfortunately. The FA Cup, however, does count, and we got knocked out in the quarters by Southampton. If I'm not mistaken as well, that means we can't complete this objective. We definitely can't complete this objective because Chelsea have knocked us out in round 4. Once again, it's literally the FA Cup and Carabao Cup objective that's shafting us. As for the UCL, though, we were put into Group H alongside Real Sociedad, Benfica and Marseille, and as you can see, guys, we absolutely destroyed this group. Like we destroyed RB Leipzig in the round of 16. And we've got past Chelsea in the quarters. And we've beaten PSG 3-2 in the semis. We're playing Juve in the final. Oh my God, guys, if we win this Champions League now, we only need one more next year, and that's this objective done. We've actually pulled it off. We've won the Premier League and we've won the Champions League in the same season. I could give a rat's backside about the FA Carabao Cup. We are the best team in the world at the minute. And I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm really not, to be honest, guys, because have you seen how good this team is, for goodness sake? I mean, if we weren't winning the Premier League and Champions League right now, I think I'd be asking more questions, if I'm being honest. But man, look at these stats. 30-3 for Schmidt, 20 for Cohen off the bench, 18-2 for Sesko, 15-3 for Gabri Viega. Look at Daniel getting 19 goal contributions himself. And that means for the final season, we've got one objective that we're able to complete, and unfortunately one that we failed to. But I believe with the Champions League objective, we've certainly got a very good shot at completing it. Especially with how good our team is. I mean, we've won it this year, so there's absolutely no reason we can't do it back to back. Then again, guys, the takeover wheel could definitely have something to say about it, but it doesn't look like it's going to shaft us. Game changer. Make a player of your choice. 99 rated, but don't make any signings. Gladly, ladies and gents. Absolutely gladly. But I think we've got to be smart about this. There's obviously a couple of players that I'd love to give this 99 overall to, but if we are to try and win the UCL, we've got to be strategic. And I think giving it to Donnarumma is absolutely the right move. If we have a 99 rated goalkeeper in between the sticks, who the hell is going to score past him? Let's be completely honest. And it's done, guys. He's gone from 92 overall to 99 rated. I just hope my decision in making him this rating was absolutely right, because this is the team's final opportunity to win, quite frankly, as many trophies as humanly possible. But the one trophy that we are absolutely gunning for will be the Champions League. And guys, we're off to a great start. We are back-to-back-to-back Premier League champions, this time by 20 points, only losing 2 all year. May I also point out we conceded the least and have got by a mile the best goal difference. I feel like making Donnarumma in 99 overall was defo the right call. We've also gone on to win the FA Community Shield, but we haven't won the FA Cup. Chelsea stopped us in the quarterfinals. I really did think we'd actually win the FA Cup this time, but I can't believe this. We've actually won the Carabao Cup. Where was this last season when we could have actually done with winning it? Oh, that is unbelievable, man. How is it the Carabao Cup is more difficult to win than the Champions League, by the way? That doesn't make sense on any level. Speaking of the UCL, we didn't actually win the Super Cup. Arsenal beat us on penalties. But it's the moment of truth, guys. We were put into Group D alongside Villarreal, PSV and Standard Liège, and we just about scraped through. But in the round of 16, we beat Lyon 3-2. But dismantled Dortmund in the quarters. And we smashed Barca in the semis 6-2 on aggregate, and we're playing Bayern, who just beat Sevilla. Oh, please, we will never get a better chance of winning the UCL than this. I can't believe it. We lost to Bayern 2-1 in the UCL final. That is 2 objectives of the 4 that we haven't actually completed. I'm genuinely gutted, man. I'm pouring it on this formation because, quite frankly, it stinks. But kudos to our attackers, because even with the defensive formation, they were still banging goals in for fun. Schmitti, Sesko and Cohen, you lot are legends. But unfortunately, we end this takeover completing the Premier League objective and also the average rating objective, but we only got 1 Champions League and we were nowhere near completing the FA Cup or Carabao Cup objective. But we do end this takeover with Schmitti being our top goal scorer, Neil being our top assister, and we ended up winning 10 trophies in the end anyway. And that is where we're going to leave this 10 season takeover. If you have enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave this video a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. And if you're still here and want to watch more content from me, just click this video right here because this is a banger as well, trust me.